Hello, everybody. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate Easter. Happy Sunday to those of you who are celebrating Sunday. Happy Game of Thrones Episode 2 for those of you celebrating Game of Thrones Episode 2. Happy end of the LGG if that's what you're celebrating today. So some of you may have noticed, and I can actually talk about it. I'm looking right here. There's Matthew, Bradley, Furry Wannabe calling me lame. There's Black Wind, Wagon. Happy Easter to you, Wagon. Manchester, cool. Malaysia, New Zealand. Wow, this is awesome. It's cool to see all you guys here. I am just kind of going through some stuff here. Getting people on here. We've got a few people on. It has been a crazy week. And I am just trying to, sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. Norway, wow. Kentucky, it's nice to see where all you guys are from. I am here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. The weather's gorgeous. We've gotten a little bit of rain, but it has been really awesome. Springtime is here. I am totally distracted, guys. I will get there in just a second. So, have I gotten the Supreme Transport set? I may be showing that one of these days. I'm doing well, guys. Hey, there's Raylan. How you doing, Jason? Phoenix, Arizona. I went to high school in Phoenix, Shervin. If you've heard of Chaparral High School, that is where I went to school. So, in Scottsdale, Arizona. All right. So, I should probably get to what we're doing. I have got the latest Tomica Limited Vintage. It's funny, I brought out the Ferraris one more time. I photographed them a few days ago, and I brought them out because it's a little bit of a maybe anticlimactic release from Tomica Limited Vintage this month. This is the April release. 4 models. When you think about the March release, we had I think like 8 models in the March release, plus the 4 Ferraris. And you live next to Chaparral. Cool. Well, that's my old neighborhood. And then so the April release is 4 models, just 2 colors of each, and we're going to get them. They came from Japan Booster. I'll put a link down below once this is over with. And but it is kind of funny because we had all that stuff. Like Tomica Limited Vintage was the talk in March, and then in April they're just kind of making a little bit of the calm before the storm, and then we'll be back to it. Do you guys want to see? Let's see if this works. This is what's coming in May. So still somewhat a somewhat, try and keep it out of the light. A somewhat exciting for some, but this is what my point being, this is May. And then I always look on the Japan Booster. Then June gets a little bit crazier with the Nissan GTRs. More trucks. And then July, we start seeing the Mitsubishis, which are pretty awesome. Then another 787B. And then check out these Bluebirds. And then Toyota Crowns. So July is going to be bonkers. And then August, more Mitsubishis. And then check out those. That's the Sunny, right? I believe. Let's see here. I'm trying to... Or the Violet. I'm sorry, it is the Violet. Check out the wheels on that. Is that not cool or what? So, yes, Jay. Very happy to do it. I will call you, and I'll give you a full review. But it's a nice little tool, isn't it? Pretty rad. Oh, there's still more. There's still more. There's Subaru still. See, cool, huh? Yeah, I just got this, and it's exciting. Time to geek out a little bit. But, you know, it's another tool because to show you guys stuff. All right, so stuff coming up. Still no word on the next batch of Ferraris. But those Evos are going to be awesome. The Nissan GTRs, especially that police car, are going to be cool. I think the Evos will be really, really exciting. I try and reply to the comments, Yoshi, and I like to reply to yours because you're my favorite little complainer. Okay. Some of you might ask about the LGG. It was my Facebook group that I put to bed today. There's a couple of admins on here right now, Jason and Jay. And just it was a good thing to do for the time being. But what I didn't expect was to have such a reaction. Some of you were really, really angry. And I'll just say, I understand. I understand your disappointment. But it is only a Facebook group, and there's a million others, and I'll bring it back someday. But ultimately, if you're that angry about it, just start thinking maybe the collections. I have been there. I have obviously collected for a long time, and it ebbs and it flows. And sometimes you have to check yourself and say, is a Facebook group about toy cars going away? Is it, and I think it's a big deal. Does that mean maybe I need to step back? It probably does. So as someone who's been there and will be there again, I try and sometimes it's important to just step back and say, my collecting has gotten a little out of hand, and I'm going to try and calm down a little bit. So just something to think about. But we'll do something later. All right, 4 cars, that's it. So 2, this is the LVN 56C and B, or actually I should say B and C. Right there. It is the Nissan Cedric HT200 Turbo. I can't even say, is it Braham? I don't know, Brahm. And then this one I'm really excited about. This is C, so this would be, and D of the Nissan Leopard 2.0 XS2. I brought out a couple of the Nissan Leopards here, so you can see some of the previous. They've done about, I don't know, 6 or 7 of the Leopards. I really like this one in this pearl white with the gold trim. So 2 more Leopards today to open up, which I'm excited about. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Should we open up? Let's open up the Cedrics first. Sorry. This is what Japan Booster always puts the cars in, which is really nice. I typically, because this one is just such a small batch, and instead of doing a full video on it, I'm just going to do the live one, but I try to trying to avoid this part with just me opening stuff. So, you know, you think about, this is why, and you know, the Ferraris have gotten a lot of attention. So you look at the Ferrari, and yes, it's a Ferrari F40, and it's just a super, super cool car. But you just look at the details, and that's what has made this such an attention grabber for Tomica Limited Vintage, and led to so many battles on the LGG for some reason. I don't think Tomica Limited Vintage makes these cars for everyone to tell everyone who collects other brands to hate them. It was actually quite disappointing to see people that collect this brand ripping on people that collect other brands. I collect both. I have Hot Wheels in the background. I have Tomica Limited Vintage. Yeah, they're not the same, but they don't have to be. I'm in a place, guys. After watching what happened when I said no to the LGG, or when I said it's going away, it really kind of shook me up to see how angry people could get. I like this hobby. I enjoy it. And I enjoy looking at this car. I enjoy looking at the Ferrari, and I enjoy looking at Hot Wheels and any other brand, and just to see people fighting, it was just awful. Awful. And maybe some of you don't even understand the context because it was Facebook, and who cares, but it was just dumb. All right, check that out. So that is the Cedric HT200 Turbo. Did someone tell me how to pronounce this word? If someone knows, try and help me. B-R-O-U-G-H. Braham? I don't know. Brahm? Anyway, super, super detailed. And my point was, the Ferrari's a rad car that's detailed. This is also just as much detail. It doesn't have the engine detail, but if you look at all of the other things, this is just like everything applies, from the spoke wheels to all the other details. Just really, really cool. Let's open the other one. That's why I said tranquil collecting. Brome? Cleverich says Brome? Like the Cadillac. You're going to tell me that. Brome? Broham? You guys are all... Broham. Maybe that's... You guys are all helping me. Thank you. When I first started the channel, I pronounced Renault so badly, I got killed for it, and I deserved it. I deserved it. All right, sorry. See, I'm starting to talk, and I'm not doing anything. Trying to engage with you, friends. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, this is a pretty one. Check out the colors on that one, the two-tone. So you've got the darker silver on top and the lighter silver on the side. And again, this is not going to get people all excited like maybe a Ferrari will, but this is the joy of collecting this brand. It's just how nice and detailed these are. Do I like customs? I like looking at customs. So there's some custom groups, and there's plenty on Instagram that I enjoy looking at. How am I today? A little shaken up after all the LGG stuff. I don't let trolls bother me, but when you see so many people angry, it does. It affects you. So I'm happy to move away from it, get back to doing this and just focusing on the cool cars. All right, we're looking at the Leopards now. I don't like photos just because I'm asked. All right. But I do see a lot, and I do like them when I can. All right, so let's get to this one. So this one has, it looks like if we look on the box, so this one has a piece to add. I'll probably refrain from doing it now. It looks like a little, like a chin spoiler type of thing. And I think some of the other Leopards do have it, so you can see that piece right here. So you just break that off and then add it. There's my dog. Yeah, Paul, I'm moving on. I'm telling you, it was just kind of, I am more than fine about that, but it's just, when you see it all happening at once, you know, anyway. All right, check that out. Yeah, my dog always wants attention. Looks nice with the spoiler on the back, doesn't it? Nah, dog's gonna stay out. I'm just staying right here. Okay, that is the Leopard. And then let's open up the other one. When we're done looking at this one, if you guys have any questions, we can get to it. I said when we presented the Ferraris, you're noticing film cars, all the detail. When we presented Ferrari, I just said this is going to be kind of a gateway drug for Tomica Limited Vintage. And it's going to be the Ferraris today. It's going to be the Leopards tomorrow for a lot of people, I think. This one doesn't have a sunroof. Some do. I'll tell you this, if Tomica Limited Vintage decided this needed a sunroof, they will do a sunroof. It's this, if the stock version had a sunroof, that's what they would do. Tired Canadian, good comment. Yeah, you think this is the cars they should use, but if they use these in the Ant-Man movie, then it would look like the real thing. It wouldn't look too toyish. That's the problem, right? All right, so that's it. I mean, that's an easy batch of models, just four, but I think my favorite's this one. This Cedric is super cool because I love the red trim and the two-tone. You know what it reminds me of? Speaking of really nice 1/64 scale brands, let's see if I can find it here. Of course, it's going to be hidden. Hold on. I'm tilting. There it is. Is there a link? Look at japanbooster.com. That's the site I showed earlier, or go to their eBay store. There's a link on lamleygroup.com. There's the only connection here is that this is the Auto World Cadillac, and it's the red trim on this particular version, which I like. So they probably don't go well together, but they're both to scale. So that's kind of cool to put them together like this, right? There. So, yeah, Auto World is awesome, and I'm going to be doing some more. The Silverados are coming real soon, and I'm going to be doing more features on Auto World coming up because they totally, totally deserve it. I'll say this, if you like Tomica Limited Vintage, you like what I show you, the equivalent, if you're in the US, is Auto World. They're not totally to the same quality that Tomica Limited Vintage is, but they are so close in terms of detail. They don't roll as well and that sort of thing. Oh, that's even bringing up another trigger. Like, they're not, like, but they're pretty, like, they have a nice weight to them. They're super detailed, just not nearly as detailed as Tomica Limited Vintage, but close. And they're perfectly to scale. I like them, but Johnny Lightning is done by the same brand, Round 2, but I'm partial to Auto World. I think their scale is better. So, and I think their details are better. So, all right, what else, guys? We could definitely get into Auto World. In fact, you know, hold on. I think some of you must think that I have like Santa's workshop full of stuff because I can just reach over and like pull out more stuff. So these have been out for a while. These are some hobby exclusives, I believe. Yeah. That I have not opened yet, and I need to get to them, and maybe I will, but like this beautiful Mustang. Look at the color on that Mustang. And then this thing. This is the Chevelle in this aqua color. I need to open those up because the Mustang is one of my, I think this Mustang that they do is one of the prettiest ones. And speaking of Mustangs, I got this one too. And this is I can't know if I can get it in the shot, but this is a showcase. How cool is that? So this is a little display you can buy, and I've seen these at hobby stores like Hobby Lobby, and I don't know where else you can get them, but they come with exclusives, and that Mustang is the newest one. So that's pretty cool. The displays, I think they're about 20 bucks. Those, I could be wrong on that, but I think that's about right. Okay, what else, you guys? We got a few minutes. Let's ask some questions. The 5-wide display, that's by Carney. Carney Plastics or Carney Displays, Carney. I'm actually contemplating putting a bigger one up there. We'll see what I decide. Meyer sells them? Okay. What's my favorite car? No idea. That's something I'll think about. What's the best casting? Muhammad, the best casting to me, there's so many that I like. You're welcome, Devin. The one that I like the most is probably the Silhouette, but they are super, super expensive. The Super Silhouettes. But I'm a big fan. Wagon has some 144 cases. Those are super nice. I prefer the 108, and I like the white background. But you have to order. They're more expensive, the white backgrounds. So Kyle's asking the favorite TLV or TLVN casting. Probably the Super Silhouette, like I said. The Silhouettes are anywhere between, depending on, they usually go up for auction. I've seen them go from anywhere from like $120 to $220 each. Someone just asked me, let's see, scroll back. Street Tuners is coming soon. What model do I have the most colors and variances regardless of brand? That's a really good question. Probably something Japanese, but I'd have to think that through. The video on the Tomica Silhouettes. Good. There's JR. Hi, JR. They didn't have the white when I bought them now. Well, keep them the same. They'll be cool. You might have to ask them. You might have to call. I haven't seen Tomica Limited Vintage, at least. I haven't seen them do any British cars. See, so a lot of people, you're going to instantly be attracted to the Ferraris. You're going to be instantly attracted to the silhouettes. But if I can offer, give me 1 second. I'm going to go to my display. I'll give you a couple other things to think about. I'm coming. So, yeah, the TLVs are super cool. They're race cars. They're awesome. But the real joy in collecting TLV is just the cars like this Cedric. Because, let me give you, for example, this Toyota Crown Wagon. Pure Japanese. This is JDM. And just check out all the details in the headlights. Check out that awesome, we use the word silhouette, but the silhouette of the car, it's very unique. You can see, you know, some influences from American wagons. But look at those taillights, how unique those are. And it's just these everyday cars that are just so cool. How about the Isuzu Belay? So this is where you take, you know, the knowledge that I would not be surprised to see Hot Wheels do this someday. In fact, Hot Wheels is doing a model that we'll talk about in the video that's coming up this week, the final preview video. Hot Wheels is starting to go into cars like this, and there's one that they're doing that I think you'll really enjoy. But the Isuzu Belay has a really cool kind of racing and kind of, it's a cool car. It's tiny, but that's one that, like, you start discovering things that, you know, cars that maybe you weren't too familiar with before. How about this Corolla? You might be more familiar with the Corolla, but maybe not the, you know, it's the Trueno or the A84 or AE. Oh, I'm tired. But like, how about that? Look at the wheels on that. AE86. I am tired. How about Mitsubishi Galant GTO? Jay, is it the Belay or the Bellet? You didn't have to tell me. So you got me thinking. I think it's the Belay. Please tell me it is. Yeah, so you've got that. You've got the Galant. And then I thought this one was kind of just to pull some out. How about the Celica? Jay's triggered. You're playing on all of my insecurities today. Yeah, Mini GT does some awesome stuff. And I think what the difference is, and I like Mini GT, and I'll enjoy collecting some of the models they do, is that it's these kind of stock cars that are really fun. So when Tomica Limited Vintage does a Ferrari F40, it's such a surprise, and you are really excited to see that quality and that realism be applied to a car like these Ferraris. But ultimately, it's about the stock stuff that Tomica Limited Vintage does. So you can get Carney cases without the side division. So if you want to, DeMarcus, sorry, that ain't going to get you very far. So if you want to put, like, yeah, this Cadillac does not fit in the Carney displays that I use, which is unfortunate, but you can get displays that don't have the side barriers or whatever. I'm tired. And so you could put just the Cadillacs in there. I like it all even. So there's some cars that just don't fit. Yes, Mohammed, those TLVs roll. Here, I'll give you another one that's cool. How about the Toyota Sports? Look how tiny that is. And it's to scale, so it can fit right there. Isn't that cool? I can pull out more. There's it's too fun to pull these out. How about this Skyline wagon or Skyline van? This is the Ken Mary. It'd be the Ken Mary body style, but it's the wagon and a Coca-Cola deco. Fair Lady 2x2. Sorry. Check out the wheels on that, those stock wheels. So this is a little different because it's the 2x2. Ken Mary. The car is called a Ken Mary because the ad campaign at the time that Nissan used for that Skyline was, it had two characters, Ken and Mary. And the Japanese had just used it as their nickname, the Ken Mary Skyline. And then how about this? This Cedric with the hubcaps. Is that not? I love that question. Do I have any Nissan Patrol or Toyota Land Cruiser? Yeah, this blue one. Can't you just see this as like two detectives driving it and like hitting a jump, 70s music, 70s cop music, and that's because, and then this car just, pow! I'm not gonna do it. Here, we'll move down a little bit. Dog dish hubcaps are cool, right? All right, you wanted a Nissan Patrol and here's a couple. Okay, I have two Patrols and two Land Cruisers. They're not the only ones I have. I just grabbed a couple. So let's do Land Cruiser first. How about the police? Actually, the lady who played Mary, she lives in, I think, Washington State. I had her, she autographed, the toy pimp, Jeff Koch, actually got her to autograph Ken Mary Hot Wheels for me. And I have that. So there is the Land Cruiser. That's the police version. Here's a more stock version. Blackwind, how much do they cost? It so depends. New ones will cost anywhere from 10, 15 to 60, 70, depending, even to over 100 if they're the large scale TLVs. And then as they're released, as time wears on, they get more and more expensive. They haven't done any FJ40, Tomica Limited Vintage. Here's the Patrol. Check out this is a separate piece. You see that? And rubber tire on the bottom. Notice the interior steering wheel. So I have this gray one and I have this white one. Then they did one for Seibu Keisatsu. I think. That was a little bit different. There, I've kind of loaded up. Now I got to put all these away. Thanks, guys. Now you got a big mess, and I got a big mess. I got to clean it up. All right, we're on. Well, we are at the point, man. We're at 30 minutes already. Any other quick questions? I'll stay on for another minute or so. If there's something you want to see. So here's what I want to do with the Tomica Limited Vintage one of these points. I want to get all of them out. I have several hundred, if not a couple thousand of them. I'm not entirely sure. I need to count how many I have. But I have a whole storage full of them. I only have a few on display, and then I have a whole lot of others, and I want to pull them out and get them all together, and it'd be really fun to do that. Fabian wants the Terrano. Which we know as the Pathfinder here in the US. So I have a couple colors of this one. This is the only one I have on display, though. Put that right there. So Passport, I haven't seen them do a Honda Passport. And GTR, Nismo, Nürburgring. You're welcome, Fabian. I will. Okay, let's see. Let me see here. This one, I don't keep an inventory of these. I just kind of know what's there, Wagon. You want to meet me in real life? Come to a convention. So that was the Nürburgring Nissan GTR that Tomica Limited Vintage did. Isn't that cool? Do I have a new Ford Mustang? You know what? That will have to come out another day. I've got those stored away, but I'm going to do a full Auto World. In preparation to this for the Silverados, I'm going to do a full Auto World showcase as well, where I'll pull out a whole bunch of models. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, but I'll do it. Okay. Well, guys, I'm going to shut this down. Yeah, Kyle, I see what you're saying. I'd like to too. And I will most likely showcase them when they do come out. But every month, that's the fun thing about Tomica Limited Vintage. Every month, somewhere between 4 and 8 come out. They're always cool. Sometimes they're just stock versions. Sometimes they're sports cars. But hey, it's fun to chat with you guys. I think it's good to limit it to about 30 minutes. Sorry I had to talk about that Facebook group shutting down, but it's all done. We move on. Lots and lots of cool stuff to do now. I can spend a lot of time on these videos, give you some good stuff here, go back in time to some of these brands, which is really fun to do. I am out of here. Going to celebrate the rest of Sunday with my family, and I will talk to you guys later. Some real